Hey everybody, I wanted to make a video this morning. It's a gorgeous day on the back deck and I know I haven't been making very many videos recently because I haven't been buying very many pens, but there are a couple that I've gotten in the last 6 months that I want to share with you. And of course they're Leonardo's, and of course they are special Leonardo's. First, I want to talk about one I got most recently, and this is a special edition from Stilograf Corsani, you know, my favorite pen shop. And it is, what do they call it, the Momento Blu, B-L-U. So it's got a window like one sees in the Momento Zero. It's got a number 8 nib with a beautiful blue feed. It is indeed a blue pen. All of the trims are blue, including the little rings around, oh, there we go, focus, including the little rings around the ink window. And it's, instead of being highly polished, it's got a matte finish, which I like a lot. So I started being interested in matte finishes on Brooks pens. Some of Jonathan's pens he would sell himself had matte finishes, and although the glossy finish makes the colors really vibrant, there was also this really great effect for his materials when they were in matte form, and it feels really neat in the hand. So I kind of like the occasional matte finish pen, and now you're seeing them, that matte finish kind of slip in and into other brands and other special editions and that sort of stuff. So anyway, when I saw this, I also thought, so I knew immediately that I wanted it, even though I wasn't really buying pens. Also, I liked the idea, I wondered if it would feel, because it is an acrylic pen, I wonder if it would have a feel similar to the Macrolon of the Lamy 2000. And it does and it doesn't. There's a little more texture to the Macrolon, I think, than there is to this. But man, I really, really, really like it. Also, one thing that sold me on it, in spite of my, pen sabbatical, is this number 8 nib. So Leo is doing these great big nib. Now I'm not somebody who's like totally into this. A nib has to be huge to be something special, but their number 8 nibs that they do in-house are really, really nice. Also, I love me a color feed. Also, Corsani has been offering on some of their special editions the opportunity to get special grinds from Mark Bacchus. And his work is really great. And I found I really like the Architect grind. Interestingly enough, I don't generally use it as an Architect grind. What I mean is, an Architect grind is wider on one side than on the other. So you can do reverse writing and you can essentially have 2 nibs in one. One that is, say, a medium and the other is a fine or an extra fine. So the Architect offers you that ability to flip around, which I do find handy when I do crosswords, frankly. But I don't tend to use it this way. There's something about the way I hold my pen, and I do hold it at quite a pronounced oblique angle when I'm writing. You can't see that because I'm doing this crazy cinematic mode. I gotta get a little, well, whatever. Anyway, I'll show you in a close-up. The way I hold my pen, I tend to have it at quite an oblique angle. So I actually get a little bit of line variation, because sometimes I must roll it too, because sometimes it's kind of rolling to the shorter side, the longer side. I don't know what it's doing, but I like the way the Architect feels and how my handwriting looks when I have an Architect. So whenever Corsani offers an Architect grind, I'm happy to get it. Before I go to some writing and some close-ups of these pens, the next one I want to talk about is like maybe my favorite pen from the last year, if we're not counting my dream pen, the Yarda lead that I just got. So put that to the side. And that is this. It's the Audace from Leonardo, and it is in a red ebonite. It's got this gyosh engraving. And this pen came out in the fall, I think, or early or first part of the year. I'm not sure which. And it came out in black and in this red, this deep, rich red, kind of a wine red, almost wine red, not that much blue in it. Anyway, came out in 2 colors. There's now, I think Fontaplumo has a special version of it in a kind of a mustardy yellow, I think. Not quite sure about that. I'll check. And I saw it and I thought, boy, this looks like a pretty cool pen, but I was really trying not to buy pens. Really trying not to buy pens. But in the end, I couldn't handle it. I had to have it. And one reason I had to have it is, I think I said in a video some time ago, one of the things I like about Leonardo is that the pens have all the advantages of being modern pens. Fabulous materials, wide variety of materials, warranty coverage, and I've taken advantage of that, and they're a great company for that. Refined filling systems, you know, all of those things. And yet they have a vintage look and feel to them, though they're larger than most vintage pens. There's quite an attention to detail, quality nibs, all that kind of stuff. And I started in this game as a vintage collector. I was particularly a Waterman collector. So I really liked ebonite pens. And I have a lot of ebonite pens. But if you buy vintage ebonite pens, you basically get black, red ripple or mottled red, so red and black, or some orange pens in there. Particularly like the orange ones, gotta say. And I loved red ripple. Anyway, whatever. I really liked ebonite pens. So when I started buying some modern pens, if they would appear in ebonite, I would grab them. I got a couple from, Bexley did a couple of ebonite pens. Their 5th anniversary ebonite pen is still a favorite of mine. I got a couple from Edison. And modern ebonites had a couple of issues initially. The first was they would fade really fast. So I think now that's not quite so true. I think they're a little more hardy. But you could get more color variations. Not like Jonathan Brooks' color variation that you can get with acrylic, but more than just black, red ripple, orange. So for a while, when I was moving into modern pens, I would buy ebonite pens. But I'm sort of over that now. I'm into like super color, right? So this pen harkened back to an earlier part of Sherry as a collector. And that was part of the big appeal. You know, dog's telling me something's going on. I better check out what it is. Because I got somebody coming to work on a roof today, and I don't think you want to listen to that. Okay, the stand isn't sitting quite where it was before because I had to move in. I know that y'all probably love the sounds of my neighborhood more than the sound of my voice, but I didn't think you needed to hear the tearing off and of the roof and the re-roofing going on about 25 feet away from where we're doing this recording. So here we are, we're back again. With my 2 pens that I wanted to show you, my 2 Leonardos, the Audacity, whatever, and the Audace Casani Momento Blu. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, I'll turn things around and bird. I have a new bird box. Wrens! We scored wrens! Here then is the Audace with its big, beautiful gold nib and its architect grind. So it writes pretty clear medium normally. Really smooth. I don't know if you can see, but even with my normal writing, I get on certain strokes, I get just a tiny bit of variation, which is not really a feature of Architect nibs, but that's what I get out of it. And then on reverse, it's also super smooth. So yeah, I use that for crosswords. That is the Audace. Right, just hang out over there, okay? And then the sorry for the traffic. The Momento Blu. It is, whoops, no E on that, just Momento Blu. And also it does reverse writing just beautifully. Sorry, wasn't making contact with the paper there. This has a little bit narrower nib. The Momento Blu is a titanium nib. Oops, where are we? There we go. The Momento Blu is a titanium nib, and the Audace is a gold nib. So, though I like the slightly thinner Momento Blu line, the gold nib is understandably softer, has a little more give. So it's just perfect. Love it. I love both of them. And this is kind of my new philosophy with pen buying. I don't need to have every color, every special edition. I'm gonna wait and buy pens when I think they're extra special.